Guys, this week I have something a little bit different for you. So I have a sister who lives in the Auburn, Alabama area. And every once in a while when she's out walking and she sees a rock that looks kind of cool, she picks it up for me and keeps it away, which is really awesome. So I was really excited to get this little bag of rocks from her, which looks like this. She'd clean them and it's great. Well, my parents went to visit her last week and that's all I was expecting. But apparently while they were down there, they went to a runoff and picked me up two more giant bags of rocks from Alabama. So this week, why don't we find out if Alabama rocks? Hey guys. Wow, that took a very, very long time to clean all of those rocks. That's a lot of rocks. So I think the best way to approach going through these is really highlighting the categories and then maybe some of the coolest rocks. So let's start with the ones where immediately, like, nothing we can do with and not even worth it being in the rock garden. So we're just chugging them under the porch. We've got these right here, which are basically, I guess, mudstone. Let's see if I can break one right here. Yeah, so it's not even, not really a rock. So these are going away. Next eliminated category, we've got our limestones. Not much we can do with these. They're too soft to really do anything with. And they're pretty common around here anyway. So we're going to chuck these into the rock garden. The final category we're just outright eliminating is this category. I combined it. It's some weathered bricks, some sandstone. Either way, there's not much we can do with them. They make really nice garden rocks, so that's exactly where they're going. Now, let's take a look at this one. This is an interesting one. You can see it's definitely like a conglomerate of stones. I don't think this is natural, though. I mean, I've seen rocks get a buildup and sort of stick together in creeks, but this looks to me like it was probably some sort of concrete. It looks cool. I think it's probably best suited for the rock garden as well, but I did want to highlight it. Now, I'm thankful when anybody gives me any type of rock. It's so fun for me to play with and identify and do anything with. So I would like to make my sister to thank her for finding these rocks and giving my, family the opportunity to go and look for rocks. So I think we're down to the 4 categories where we could possibly make something for her. So let's look at these. Let's start with this category. So here we've got actually a bunch of amphibolites. If you saw my urban rockhounding video, that's the rock that I took home. Mine had little garnets in it, which I've since confirmed are garnets. One of these has some really tiny looking garnets in it. Not this one, but you can see it is a very pretty stone. It's got a lot of sparkle. It does cab well, we now know. It's this one right here. If you can see, it looks a bit like right here. It looks a bit like iron staining, but when it's wet, you can tell it is a little tiny, tiny garnet. Just to compare it with the one that I cabbed up. Here it is on the cabbed side. You can see my garnets were a lot bigger, but on the back, it does look a lot like these. With these obviously have a bit more iron staining. The soil was really iron rich, I guess, in Alabama, but you can see it does make a really pretty piece. So I do think we could use one of these, maybe not the one with garnets, because I don't think it's the best piece of the ones we have. But that's a possibility of something we could do, because I do really like this one, the way this one turned out on the side that I've finished. So I do think we could make something from one of these. Now let's look at our granites. Granite is one of the prettiest stones to look at when you find it out in the wild. It's pretty common. But look at that sparkle, and you get these really cool patterns and colors, and it has a lot of variety. Granite doesn't tumble super well because of the different types of material in them. So, like the black typically wears down a lot faster than the white, which makes it hard to tumble and get a really good shine. I've done it. I have an okay piece of very similar to this one that I've tumbled. It might mean that we could make something with it on the cab machine. I've not tried, but something like this piece or this piece with so much mica in it, or even this one, which has a really interesting color. All three of those could be really interesting options to make something with. But overall, we got a decent variety of granites, lots of sparkle, some cool pieces. Okay, we have this beast of a category right in the middle, our quartz one. I'm not going to pick all of these up. Let's highlight a couple. So there's one here in particular that I think is really cool. So take a look at this one. Notice that kind of blackish rectangle right there. I spent and there's some right here on the side, just notice deep down. I spent a long time trying to figure it out what this was, and I think I've settled on my guess being hematite. It is a bit magnetic. So I think this is some hematite in this quartz, which is really cool. I have a lot of little pebbles like you would have, when you get landscaping materials. I'll chuck these in the tumbler. They, quartz polishes up nice, so always happy to have that. The crystallization on this piece is pretty crazy. I like to see it. It's really unique. Each crystal is very clearly shown, which I think is really cool. And it makes it sparkle even more than normal. I suspect they must have been on a quartz vein or something because we had so much quartz and huge pieces. I have one piece still on my kitchen table that's just giant, and I didn't even bother cleaning yet because it's huge. And I have to really think about what I'm going to do with that one. But so much quartz or quartzite, and that's fun. We can always do stuff with quartz. Whether or not we're going to do anything today, I'm leaning towards no. Then we have the mystery rock category. Pretty cool. We're going to saw this open no matter what, because I would just like to know what is hiding inside of this. This one's very similar. It feels maybe the same material. It's kind of waxy feeling. This one feels kind of soft to me. But I don't think it's sandstone. I'm just not sure what it is. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with this one. This one, you're going to get sawed open. So let's go do that right now. All right, this rock changed all of my plans. I got a sneak peek of it, so I went ahead and cut a middle piece out of it, as you can see. But here's the reveal. I think this is just some gorgeous yellow jasper is my guess. Look at all those designs on the inside. It's just so cool looking. So let's make something pretty out of this one. All right, and here's the final results. I think I'm going to keep this as, I was thinking about making a pendant, but I think I'm going to keep it as like a worry stone and give it to my sister. She can keep it, in her purse or on her desk, just to sort of like rub when you feel stressed or anything. I think there's something nice about having a piece of your home that you can think about when you feel stressed. So I think this will make the perfect little keepsake and thank you gift. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see next week. Otherwise, I'll see you next Wednesday at 11.